Plaintiff Lemuel Hunter was married to the defendant, and he claims he was forced to work a lot because the defendant refused to contribute to their household bills. Lemuel's suing because he loaned the defendant money after they divorced, but he has yet to be repaid. Defendant Elaine Hunter says Lemuel is a great man, but their marriage fell apart after a blood test confirmed that one of their children was fathered by his brother, even though they always knew that was a possibility.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Okay, back in 2016, my ex-wife was going through some difficulties. She had asked me if I could help her pay off a vehicle.
How long were you all married?
For 19 years.
Okay. Let me get some background from her. You want to jump right to the thing. You must have been a bad husband. You don't want to talk about the marriage. You want to jump right into it. Let me hear about the marriage and when you all met and how things went.
Well, actually, we was married for 19 years, but we was together a little bit before that.
When? When did you get married?
We got married in 1986.
86. Okay. How did it go?
Well, at first it was awesome. Wonderful. We had a good time, good chemistry. But let me go back a little bit because prior to that, unfortunately, I had a one-night stand with his brother, which we had a baby.
Just before you met him?
Before I met him, I already knew him. We've been knowing each other since.
But you all weren't dating?
No, we weren't dating. I had a one-night stand, and then we produced a child. Once me and Lemuel decided that we was gonna get together and get married, I made sure that I told him that the child was his brother's. He accepted it, and I can't take anything away from him. He is a great man. He took on I got 5 sons, none of them was his, and the fact that, you know, I had a child with his brother. Mm-hmm. He accepted that responsibility. He done a great job up until the point where our relationship started to spiral.
When was that?
Well, it was
90s, like 2000s?
I say 2014 is where it got really
All right,
bad.
so you all were together a long time. And
yes.
14, what happened? After such a long period.
We decided to go ahead and get a blood test for my son.
I thought you had already told him.
I told him, but we didn't have any solid evidence. Mm-hmm. But we went ahead and decided to get the test, and I think once the test came back and it showed that he was not his, our relationship
was not whose?
Was not my husband's, because he thought at one point that my son was his, but it's his brother's.
And you explained that to him from day one?
Prior, yes, but even so, if you
he was in denial?
Pretty much.
Okay, and then once confirming it, the reality set in 2014 after the test, and what began to happen?
It seems like our relationship just continued to spiral. I'm pretty much an outgoing person. I like to go skating, and Mr. Hunter is a workaholic, I would say. And I feel like he didn't give me any attention anymore.
He just gave you money to go skating. Go ahead, Don.
Yes, true. He took really good care of us. I cannot take that away from him at all. Well, it came to the point where we did.
Well, you should have told her, you're always complaining about me never being at home, but when I'm there, I'm broke. She said, if you think you're lonely now, wait until the night.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I agree, because I sure do miss that security.
There you go. Hear that?
Yes,
you work too much, but then when it's over, I sure miss that.
Yes, I do.
Hope all these other women are listening who think my husband work too much.
Yes, they
see how that work out when it don't.
Right.
Then you'll be talking about him, he's a scrub. He don't want to do nothing. He sit around. He try to leave the house. Where you going?
Right.
Mercy. Go ahead.
So here we are. We got a divorce, and
what was the not crowning moment, what was the straw that broke the camel's back when the two of you said, this is it, because of this, we're getting a divorce?
Well, actually, that part was on me. I said, Lemuel, come on, let's try to work something out. We talked a lot about it, and we said we was going to take vacation from work. We said we was going to try to work something out. We talked a lot about it, and we said we was going to take vacation from work. And we said we was going to try to work something out. We talked a lot about it, and we said we was going to take vacation from work. We said we was going to try to work something out. We talked a lot about it, and we said we was going to try to work something out. We talked a lot about it, and we said we was going to try to work something out. We talked a lot about it, and we said we was going to try to work something out. We talked a lot about it, and we said we was going to try to work something out. We talked a lot about it, and we said we was going to try to work something out. We talked a lot about it, and we said we was going to try to work something out. We talked a lot about it, and we said we was going to try to work something out. We talked a lot about it, and we said we was going to try to work something out. We talked a lot about it, and we said we was going to try to work something out. We talked a lot about it, and we sa for like a couple of weeks to hang out together, kind of rekindle our marriage. And we did so. I took off a couple weeks, but unfortunately, Mr. Hunter said he was taking off, but he went to work anyway. So I had 2 weeks with nothing to do, with nobody to do it with. So I ended up I left.
You didn't have any friends?
Well, I had some friends, not too many, no.
All right, you couldn't find anything to do, and you broke up your marriage. How about volunteering? Did that ever dawn on you?
No.
Why?
It did.
You don't care about other people?
I don't know, I wanted to.
All you cared about is yourself?
No,
and
that's
your
not
husband being at home all the time in front of you instead of being at work to take care of you and them children? You got 5 children that are not even his, and he taking care of them, and you won't even let him go to work to come home and take care of 5 children that aren't his. And then you act like you ain't got nothing you can do when he's working to make money. Yes, you can. Go down to the hospital and volunteer. Go down to one of these girls programs and be a girls mentor. It's a lot of things, man. A lot of things. I'll let you go back now.
Okay. Well, like she said, at the beginning of the relationship, we used to pay, we were equal in paying the finances. One day she decided that she don't want to work. I mean, she want to work, but she don't want to pay no bills. So
That's a good deal.
You know, because I'm a Christian, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. So she used a certain scripture. And so I
She
started.
a witness also?
Yeah, she used to be.
Okay.
So I started paying, all the bills. And so my thing was, I can't take off because I got to pay every household bill. And so that's, even though, and then we argued, a while over, well, she worked,
that
but
true?
she didn't pay anything.
Ma'am, did you stop contributing financially?
To a certain degree.
So why wouldn't you think he would need to work more?
He never worked less. He always worked a lot.
Sir, she said you worked
He was
just as much before she stopped contributing.
40 hours overtime, and overtime, yes.
No, before she
40
stopped contributing, she said you worked the same amount.
Yes.
There was no change.
There's no change. No, I picked up overtime because she
That means more,
yes,
doesn't
sir.
it?
Yeah, I did then. Yeah, I worked, yeah.
Let's move on. Y'all don't even know who worked and when. Go ahead. Let's get to the loan, sir.
Well, like I said, 2016, she was going through financial difficulties. So, after the divorce, she asked that, could she borrow some money? And I said, I'll loan it to you. So, page 1, I loaned, her brother was alive then. He was the witness to it. She was supposed to pay back $250 per pay period, and she never paid anything.
Okay, and when you mentioned it to her, what has she said?
I'm going through financial situations. I can't give it to you.
She didn't say come back home and go to work?
At that time, I didn't, when I dissolved it, I didn't want to be with her no more. It was it. I gave her a couple chances.
And you say it was what she claims because you worked too much? Do you attribute it to that as well, the divorce?
I contributed to, this couple of kids' father was in the situation, which I didn't like, but, you can direct that to your kids. You can't direct situations with my wife. So I would leave to go to work, and sometimes she'd get in his vehicle. They roll off.
She what?
She'd get in his car and roll off. So
His car?
His car, yeah. Her
And
ex,
go where?
wherever they went. I got to go to work. I don't go cheat or whatever they was gonna do. I guess. I know I didn't like it.
You want to say anything about that?
Well, actually, that sounds a little strange, but he said I'd get in the car and go with me. No, sometimes he would come and visit his kids, but I didn't get in a car and go anywhere with him.
Okay, she denies it. So let's move on to the loan. What do you say about the loan, ma'am? He's suing you for?
Well, actually, he did give me the loan. My brother did sign. I signed. And I had every intention of paying him back, but like you said, I let him know that I was having financial difficulties. But also, he's confusing because even though I owed him the $5,000, he continued to give me money. So I didn't take him really serious about him wanting it back. he continued to give me money on top of that money.
That's right. A sucker is a sucker. You say, if I can have a child by his brother, if I can ride off with the father of my children anytime I want, send him to work, get money from him, and then keep getting money from him, why, you're right. I wouldn't think I'd have to pay him either. In fact, I would think he was a sucker.
Well,
You didn't think that, did you?
No, not actually
Why you
a sucker,
stuttering?
but I really appreciated him continue to help me.
I know you did.
But the first loan was confusing because he kept giving.
Right, I got you. It's confusing. You want something back? You've been a sucker ever since I've known you. Now you want something back? What? I'm confused. The game didn't change? There's been game all along. You didn't know that? Just because we divorced, don't you think that you're going to get away now? Oh, no. That ain't how this go. You can divorce, but leave that wallet with me. Oh, yeah. Now go to work. I got the kids' father coming over there. They'll ride me around. I don't mean to break it to you like that, sir, but that's the scenario you were working under.
Right.
The good news is you were a fair judge today,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
who understands that when someone makes a commitment, that they must meet it, both by law and from a sense of justice and fairness. And in this case, she admits to owing you. Did you want to say anything about continuing to give her money while she owed you? None of those children are yours, obviously.
To me, they're all mine.
There you go. And that's why you were giving it to her. That's why you were giving it to her. Nothing about you. You hear me? Ain't nothing about you. Yeah, he's done with you. I tried to reopen the door a minute ago. He said, no, thank you. He ain't interested in you at all. No more. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir. You're right.
And any help you get from him, it ain't because he's a sucker and you confused. It's because he wants to help those children whom he became attached to while he was married to you, 5 of whom he had no blood relation. I'm sorry, he does. Let me leave that alone. All right. You got the man being uncle and daddy. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day. $5,000 is your judgment.
Well, thank you for helping me with my sons and continue to have a good relationship with them.
Thank you. Only thing I want to say, you need to become a Jehovah's Witness. You was a better person.